Fat Snacks, I'd love to see a video about your experience with step 9 and how you went about it and how the people you wronged reacted to it. Let me get some tea. I'll be right back to talk about that. All right, Fat Snacks and fellow addicts and alcoholics, let's talk about my step 9. If you don't know what step 9 is in Alcoholics Anonymous and Narcotics Anonymous, step 9 is the step that I dreaded. Even before I knew what all the rest of the steps were, I dreaded step 9 because step 9 is the step where you make amends to the people you have harmed, unless it would do more harm to them or yourself or others. And let me tell you a little something about my step 9. My step 9 involved emails, phone calls. I lived in a different state than I've drank drank in about 6 or 7 states. So I had a lot of amends, as I'm sure you all do as well. The wreckage of our past is filled with broken hearts, scared people, mistrust, betrayal. First on the list was my mom and dad. Mom, I'm sorry for waking you up in the middle of the night, stealing your Xanax and cigarettes. And here's about 200 other things I'm sorry for. Making amends isn't necessarily just saying sorry. Making amends also is, you can make financial amends. My uncle took me in when I was at the end of my run. I was way out of money. So he took me in, he paid for this, paid for that. And when I finally got sober, I had to make financial amends to him, and I paid back every penny. And that not only pays him back, what that does is it clears up your conscience and lightens your load so you don't have to feel restless, irritable, and discontent. If you notice, when you're guilty, you feel restless, irritable, and discontent. No wonder AA has a whole process of relieving one, relinquishing guilt, and cleaning up the wreckage of your past. So my step 9, I had a list and a half of people that I had to make amends to, and so I did. And you do this with your sponsor, someone who's done it before. We'll tell you exactly what to do, exactly what not to do. I'll tell you real quick what not to do. Don't look to be forgiven. A lot of people didn't forgive me. A lot of people didn't write back. That's not the point of amends. You're not trying to regain friends. I mean, it is a byproduct that happens, but in making amends, in typing those letters and sending them out, just the fact that I sent them out and they may or may not have reached their target relieved me of my guilt, and in turn relieved me of my fear, and in turn my restless, irritable, and discontent, constant hum in the background of my life. I'm sure you're looking for some juicy tidbits of people that slam the door in my face. In the words of the big book, there will be those who slam the door in your face and you try to say, hey, sorry, I was a worthless drunk and I stole your car. You will get the proverbial door slammed in your face. However, that's not the point. When that door is slammed, you can now turn around and go about your way and make your next amends and go on with your life. I know you want juicy tidbits of doors slamming and face slaps. I didn't have many of those. Actually, all people want is for you to get healthy and get sober, because I can't imagine how hard it is for people to watch an addict or alcoholic just kill themselves. I mean, I was watching myself and it was hard to watch. Yeah, my step 9, it's liberating. But I got a lot of thank gods, and I got a lot of I'm so happy. There was repaired relationships. I'm now talking to people that I used to not talk to. I have a best friend. He was my best friend for a decade, and he became a police officer in the town that my stomping grounds, my drinking grounds, and he had to put cuffs on me after a decade of just close friendship. Had to put cuffs on me at one point, and also he was storing my belongings, my mattress, my dresser. I moved him into his basement, and he had to put up with that. He had to put up with me drinking no matter what I went through. And I couldn't imagine the pain he went through watching that, because like I said, Non-alcoholics can't understand why we're doing it. Why don't we just stop drinking? Why, after all of this, why are you killing yourself? Family members will blame themselves, and wives and husbands will ask themselves, why am I not enough for him or her to stop drinking? It's incomprehensible. It's cunning, baffling, and powerful, and it'll take you to the gates of insanity or death. So upon doing step 9, we have to say, look, I was out of my mind. I was out of my mind. I hope you understand. And I told them, I don't really expect you to understand, but I was out of my mind. That's not an excuse. That's not an excuse. I was an asshole. In my personal opinion, if I could have gotten better sooner, I would have. So it's the disease. It's insidious. We suffer from a relentless insanity of doing the same thing and expecting different results. Not many people understand, but what they do understand is that you're sober now, and people don't trust you right off the bat. I have a video about the pink cloud. When you first get sober, your first 6 months or so of sobriety is like a pink cloud. I'm sober. I'm the happiest person alive. I've discovered, the fountain of youth. Let me tell you about sobriety. And, people don't trust that because you're 6 months sober. I didn't know shit. I know turds. I know small turds of shit. I'm learning, and I'm learning from you, and you're learning from me, and we discuss it. But when I first got sober, I'm like, I'm sober now. I'm sober, and I'm sorry. But 5 days ago, when I, broke your window, I'm so sorry. I'm different now. I'm total changed man. That was 5 days ago. I'm totally different. They don't trust you. So it takes about a year. But once people, they call it a living amends. When you're living sober, not necessarily shouting it from a mountaintop, people begin to trust and they begin to repair. Anyway, my friend who is a cop now, he lives 600 miles away, and I still haven't talked to him or received a letter back from my amends, and I love this guy. I mean, he is my best friend, and I have a common best friend that I talk to, and he's my best friend, and I'm like, what's up with dude? He hasn't, I understand, I definitely burned all my bridges, but what's the deal? And my common friend said, it got bad, and we get bad on our runs, and it takes a while for people to forget. Some people don't ever forget. There's 8 billion different personalities in the world, and some people forgive and forget easily, and some people don't forgive and forget at all. That's not my job. That's not our jobs. We clean our side of the street, we write our letters, we make those amends, send them out, and we go about our sobriety. And it is essential that we leave our fears and resentments with our step 9. Resentments, I don't know if you've heard this before, but resentments are the number one offender of addicts and alcoholics. If you ever noticed, if you're angry or resentful at someone, we will drink at them. I've gotten angry at, I'm not even gonna blow up any spots or anything, but I've gotten angry at individuals, and instantly I'm thinking like, I'll just get a bottle and drink it on their front lawn. That'll show them. That's the kind of shit that we think when we're crazy and insane with addiction.